Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we've got some more news for the Chinese version of Final Fantasy XIV Mobile. A lot of this stuff will probably apply to us here in the West, so it's pretty important that we know this for when it eventually comes around to global. Now, my Discord had somebody post this video of a talking pigeon talking about a Chinese live letter that's happening in the middle of the closed beta test. It's a YouTuber, because it's in Chinese, I don't know the name. I think it's Galaxy of History, which is pretty dope, I'm not gonna lie. But they're a talking pigeon in this video, and in about 4 minutes, they cover all of the most important things. I'm gonna take 4 minutes to even get to start playing this video at this rate. I've already watched through it, so I have some idea of what is going to be discussed, but this is basically us watching a digest of the live letter and then going over the details, what my thoughts are on them, etc, etc. So this is Yinhe. Okay, I guess I could have just done that. I was going by their YouTube name. So yeah, 6 days into the closed beta test, they were holding a live letter and very specifically dealing with pay-to-win concerns and answering some questions in the live chat itself. So there are some important bits. So this is the first one. Too few ways to get advanced materia or materials for upgrading primal weapons for free. Is this an attempt to implement pay-to-win mechanics in a more indirect way? So advanced materia is an interesting one. As Yinhe or Galaxy will go over later in this video, there's a major quality of life update to the way materia works in the Chinese version of the game, in that materia is actually just melded to individual slots, not individual equipment. So you meld materia to your head slot, and then whatever equipment you're wearing will gain the benefits of that materia. So as you upgrade equipment, you don't actually have to remeld any individual slot. Advanced melding is still there and still can fail, as they will also cover in this. But that's, I mean, we've been asking for that for a while now. We've been asking for some adjustments to the way materia are handled in the main game, especially for people who like to maybe play multiple casters and need different melds for them, or multiple jobs in any of the same role that may need slight differences. That can get quite annoying when you're sharing gear. That's an interesting way of handling it, although, you know, it also means that advanced melding is something everyone has to do, but materia can be gotten in a variety of ways, and I'll let the rest of the video play out before I get into it. And then materials for upgrading primal weapons for free. There's the primal weapons, and then there's the glowy primal weapons. We already knew from some other information that came out that you could pay to upgrade your primal weapons. So we need to actually listen to their answer for that before we get into it. Stated game design would not include combat stat pay-to-win mechanics. However, in the current version, advanced materia and materials for updating primal weapons, which is shown right here. 3 for 3 per week, advanced savage aim materia 1, 200 verity tomestones, and also the enhancing gem, which is what you are going to be using for the primal weapons. So I've got a cat in here in timeout with me. That's 4,900 crystal points. That's the online currency. So these are things that you can pay for to get around, because you can get materia through ways that's actually paid outside of tomestones of verity. So they were asked about this. They made sure to go over it. In the mobile, you can meld materia to your job to give it an attribute boost. There are 2 or 3 advanced materia melding slots on each equipment slot. Bacon, stop, come here. Listen, you're in timeout. That's how it is. So you don't need to remeld. However, the success rate is still quite low if unsuccessful materia is lost. So the fact that you should prepare backup materia while melding. So the verity tomestones here, as you can see, you can buy 3 of each with 200 verity per week. You have savage aim, heaven's eye, quick arm, and savage might, which savage might is very strange looking, being that color. Definitely not what I would have expected, but you get the idea. Advanced materia can be obtained through treasure hunting. We covered this before. Treasure hunting in the game, I have a whole separate video about how it works and how it's different, how you can sometimes get multiple treasure chests in the same map. But yeah, materia, that's one of the primary ways to obtain materia, but it is completely random. The market board, anyone who obtains it through something like treasure hunting or the tombstone exchange can choose to sell their materia instead of using it for themselves. Tombstone exchange is 3 per week, and then exchange in the battle pass. Now, we knew there was a battle pass, and we didn't really know the full details of it just yet, but there are materia in it. So by putting materia in it, they subsequently say, hey, you want to get more materia towards your advanced melding? You know, you got to pay us, which is definitely something you don't want to see. Since the Battle Pass is a paid feature, this feels like an attempt to push players towards buying it. Completely agree. The dev explained that since the materia are melded to the job, you don't need to change materia frequently. That's fair. Players actually need fewer advanced materia than expected. That doesn't really answer the question. Additionally, the attributes provided by advanced materia are relatively minor and won't make much a difference. Still doesn't really answer the question. As a response, they will remove the weekly cap for tombstone exchanges. So this 3 out of 3 per week for materia, that's going to be completely removed as a response to people being upset that it seems like they're trying to force people to buy the battle pass to get more advanced melding slots. So if you farm tombstones, you can farm up all the materia you need without having to worry about absolutely feeling like you need to go towards the battle pass in order to unlock it. They are also adding another method of obtaining them via bicolor gemstones. So doing fates to get the bicolor gemstones, or doing, dungeons, roulettes, whatever, to get tombstones will now both be very viable methods of obtaining it. So already addressing that based immediately on just less than a week of closed beta 2. Glad to see that sort of response immediately to being told, hey, that seems a little pay to win. The original definitely feels more like what I would have expected, and the response is good in such a short period of time. So glad to see that. Now, as for the secondary thing, the primal weapons, so weapon from the hard mode version of a primal plus this paid thing equals a ×2, so you need 2 of these, equals a glowing weapon. Feature, free glamour with paid acceleration option, acquisition, job quests. Interesting. For free by upgrading the primal. Okay, so here. Its position as glowing appearance is upgraded for free by upgrading primal weapons. You can choose to pay to speed up the process. The 10 item level boost provided by upgrading is just symbolic, similar to the main game. Does not affect raid progression. So apparently it increases your item level, but doesn't increase the stats, which is not like the main game. Anywhere there's an item level increase in the main game, if something is purely glam, it's normally a really low item level, or even just item level 1. So that's a little strange to me. Let's read the whole section again. Regarding primal weapon enhancement, its position is glowing appearances that can be obtained for free by upgrading the primal weapons. You choose to pay to speed up the process if needed. The 10 item level boost provided by upgrading is just symbolic, similar to the main game. Does not affect raid progression. Not affect raid progression is not the same as affecting the stats, mind you. That's not, the way that's being positioned is not correct. Based on the current version, it requires roughly item level 110 to progress to the first raid. Meanwhile, the item level of those glowing primal weapons is only around 40 or 50. Well, I mean, okay, if that's the case, then it doesn't really matter. In order to avoid misunderstandings about pay to win, the item level bonus from upgrades will be removed. Yeah, I mean, if there really is no stat change, that's smart. But if it's also only item level 40 or 50, it's a really weird place to even make that decision, because it looks like the base version comes from job quests, according to what's on the screen, and then I guess there's a way to obtain the upgrade to it to speed it up. Maybe there's like daily job quests or Bacon, you're gonna knock everything over. Here, you get this. Get that. Listen, you're supposed to be in timeout with me. I'm not supposed to be in timeout with you. There you go. Hi. Bacon, don't push me away. Come here. All right, yeah, he's not having it. He's not a very cuddly cat. He's fluffy, but he's not cuddly. All right, so yeah, they're going to remove that item level increase. If we focus only on the visual aspect to reduce appearance-related spending, they'll add more ways to obtain the gem. It's also going to be getting a free tier in the battle pass, so you can get the upgrade for the primal stuff without... Bacon, please. Stop messing with things. I'm in the middle of a recording, my dude. Just chill. Chill. Don't make me put you in second jail. Free tier on the battle pass. Yeah, so they're going to add another way to obtain them from the free tier, so you do not need to pay any money at all in order to get it. Look at this. This is what I'm dealing with mid-recording now. You're going to see a lot more cat shenanigans in my YouTube recordings, that's for sure. Other changes, you only need 1 of them instead of 2, so even if you are paying to get it, it's going to be less expensive, and the item has been renamed to avoid confusion. Since it's not an actual upgrade, it's just an improvement to the glamour since it makes it glow. So, paid content adjustments for leisure activities. So obviously they're going to be reducing how much you need for that glowing primal weapon. There were some concerns about heavy spending and casual content. There's 5 emotes. 5 emotes previously available for purchase in the shop will now be given to the characters upon creation. This was something we knew. that certain emotes that were already in Final Fantasy XIV's main game, part of the game, not paid in any capacity, were actually made paid options in the mobile game going into closed beta 2. People didn't like that. People already knew that it was available for free in the main game, so they're going to make them available for free here as well. Definitely some limit testing here. You can see there's like this, what can we actually get away with, or what will our players actually accept? And they're learning very quickly, not very much. The cost for the esthetician has been reduced to 1,000 gil. Apparently it was a lot more than that. Now I know there's a scrolling text here, and I didn't really take the time to read it properly last time. As for the dye, there are still ways to get it for free. That's right, dyes you can buy with Cash Shop, or you can actually just get them for free, but their price is going to be reduced all the same. So apparently they forgot to delete the test version code, though somewhat /EM doubt, considering the first closed beta had the esthetician giving PC a Titanic sawfish. It doesn't seem entirely possible. Wow, that esthetician really wanted to give you your big fish quest, huh? All right, the price of dyes in the mall will also be reduced. Let's see, the cost for the esthetician has been adjusted. Let's make sure we actually read through this part. And as for dye, there are still ways to get dye for free, but it'll also be reduced in the cash shop. The 3 outfits which were made from treasure hunting materials in the main game will be priced at 6 CNY in the mobile mall. So it seems they're getting a price reduction for transactions between players. So yeah, in the main game, it was available from just playing the game. In here, it's paid, and they're going to be reducing the actual cost. They're reducing the cost by almost 9, it looks like. Because look, you can see how much it is, how much the crystals are there. Will be priced at 6. So this is what it's priced at. Maybe it doesn't mean to say 6. Oh, well, no, that's right. 4,900 crystals. Yeah, because 4,900 crystals is no, because 49 CNY. I don't know. Either way, these are going to be in the cash shop all the same. So for 6 CNY, will be priced at 6 CNY in the mobile mall. Maybe that's just what they are in the CBT, and they're... Oh, okay, I see now. This is all because this was the original price for these outfits. And that's going to be reduced to 6 CNY. So this would be 68 CNY, and that's going to go down to 6. It's like 1/10 the price. For transactions between players or via the market, a 10 to 15 tax will be applied. Okay. Or maybe they're just saying that's the tax from it with this part. Or maybe this is a special note. This is one of the effective measures against black market operations. To maintain a healthy game environment, this tax will remain. Okay, so that was just a feature people were asking about, and they had a response to it. The dev also teased future update contents. One appearance will be original paid hairstyles. Original. 5 to 6 outfits like Griffin Skin set are coming. Received everyone's request. Increasing investment in original outfit designs. Yeah, because it doesn't feel good necessarily if they're paying for outfits that were in the main game and weren't even part of the Mog Station in the main game. So original outfit designs are definitely more preferred if they're gonna do things on the cash shop instead of just using armor that should already technically just be in the game. Let's see here. Such as new appearances. What else do we got? Here we go. Gameplay feature. So the Relic released in 2.0.1 position similar to the Primal weapon. Free upgrades paid to accelerate. Same item level as HQ for raids. So position free upgrade. So I'd assume that in terms of its effectiveness, it's still useful, but that it now that the glow, if it's similar to the Primal weapons, is just cosmetic. Same item level as HQ for raids. As HQ for raids. I wonder if that's saying it's the same item level as raid weapons, or if it's saying that the item level won't increase like that change that they made for the Primal weapons, or if it's the same as crafted gear. Either way, the Relic's being released 2.0.1. We'll have more clear information later. Housing, aimed to re-release in 2.2. Eternal Bonding, getting married, in investigation cannot be released before 3.0. So Eternal Bond's not going to come till Heaven's Ward in this case. Original event available at launch. So that's a big thing with 14 Mobile that I fully expect is a lot of events that are happening. It's just a mobile game thing to do events, so I suspect that they'll probably see a lot more events than we see seasonal events too, but I expect this is an original event, not just one of our seasonal events, and I expect a lot more of that in particular. And then I'll go to the next slide here in a second. Really like the way they did this video. Raids! Ultimate, currently no plans, will be decided based on Savage raid situation. Same with the Ultimate Weapon. For Savage, one series every 4 to 5 months of 4 instances. So keep in mind, the main game gets Savage every about 9 months, approximately, 9 to 10. Because it's every other patch. Every other major patch. This is every 4 to 5 months. But mind you that it's going through the content that basically already exists. We've already seen that they're making pretty significant changes to the raids overall. Caduceus is nothing like the original Turn 1 version. It's far more modern and done like if Caduceus were released nowadays, I could see it being something very similar to what they're actually getting. And on top of that, I noticed this, the challenge mode. There was like a hard mode version of Savage. So they are getting kind of a Savage Plus in a sense. And the big thing is medicinal items prohibited, special achievements available. So in the videos I've seen, I haven't seen much in the way of people using like potions and whatnot, but I'd assume this means no actual offensive pots either, unless it's specifically referring to things like Phoenix Downs or health potions or whatnot. Which, yeah, I just hadn't seen much of that being used in the footage that we had already seen of things like the Savage raids and whatnot. And keep in mind that Turn 1 Caduceus, that is Savage now. They're not doing the whole like Coil is a normal mode, but it's as difficult as a Savage. That's just all Savage stuff. So yeah, they will have a challenge mode with special achievements available. I'd assume that's honestly not going to feel much different than Criterion Savage, but it's still just also on one boss at the end of the day. But Ultimate, yeah, I mean, it's the first Ultimate would be so far out, like years out before it even happens in the mobile version. So yeah, it's perfectly normal. Now, this is actually a huge thing. While it's okay to make the game for touchscreen, a lot of people were wondering about controller support, and they are working on controller support. It's currently looking to be implemented in 2.2, so probably that 4 to 5 months after the mobile version actually comes out. I feel like it's an absolute necessity given the busyness. I feel like a lot of people are already going to be opting to emulate it versus playing it on their phone, especially here in the West. So having controller support for that is very, very important. iOS and Android cross-platform servers are interconnected, both released at the same time, so you don't have to worry whether you're on iOS or Android. That's good to know. I hadn't actually thought of that, but good to know that those are not separated. Harmony OS native adaptation, still in planning. Okay. Custom UI layout not currently supported. Development cost is high. Will be added to the feature request pool based on community feedback. Custom UI layout. So basically being able to move your UI elements around freely and being able to do whatever you want with them. Yeah, I can see why that might be a little bit weirder in the mobile version, but I guess at least they heard it and they said they'll put it in the pool. The feature request pool. I gotta fish it out with one of those little pool cleaners. Regarding specific update schedules, some details were also clarified, which differ slightly from previous summaries. Okay. Those interested can watch the VOD. Oh, okay. So the rest of the details are not in this video, so I guess I would have to watch the VOD in order to get it. But it's very specifically update scheduling. With the Savage being 4 to 5 months, that gives us a pretty decent idea of what they aim to do. They're probably going to keep the patch schedule in terms of Savage very similar, meaning that we'll probably see Savage in 2.2. And 2.1 will probably just have other things. From what we can see, Crystal Tower will be there on launch. It was in closed beta 1 at the very least, so maybe not. It was also only available for testing with 8 players instead of 24, which does seem like it will be the norm. I don't think you're going to be playing with 24 people all at once here. But they're moving along. Some good information. It's always disheartening to see them trying to see certain systems that do seem to push people towards wanting to spend more money. That is very much something that is a big concern with pretty much everyone, especially here in the West, where as much as people like to throw thousands of dollars at their favorite gacha game, they generally don't like feeling like they have to do that because the game system is saying, hey, if you want to do anything else with the system, you have to spend the money in order to do it. So there's definitely some major concerns about this. So I expect we'll see a lot more of them trying systems to see if the player base accepts them, and then, you know, going back on those when feedback doesn't match. But man, all I gotta say is, bro, if you have just have Fantasias, bro, 14 could fund an entire like game development on like a month of Fantasia sales alone. Like, they they don't really need to try too hard. Obviously, selling cosmetics on the shop has also worked for years and years with Final Fantasy XIV. That's why they still do it as much as they do it. So I think they need to focus less on things like this with the materia and keep focusing on those cosmetic bits. People have shown time and time again that if they really think an outfit is cute, they will drop 10, 15, 20, 30 bucks on it in a game. It's just at this point, it's been true for like over a decade, and it's going to continue to be true. And so if they're going to do anything, just do that. As long as you also make sure you're adding things to the main game itself that players feel like they are sufficiently able to work towards, whether that be glam or other objectives, then that should be a-okay. But less of this for sure. Anyway, that's going to be it for covering the producer live letter. Thanks again to Galaxy of History, or Historical Galaxy, whichever it may be. The translation isn't entirely clear for me. Thank you to them for putting together this short little thing for me to, well, they didn't do it for me, but for everyone to understand, and I've really appreciated it and using it for this video. Again, if you want to keep up with the details for the Chinese version, obviously you could keep following me, but if you're looking to expand your YouTube pool for some quicker to access information, don't forget to check out the description of the video and give Yinhei here a follow, a subscribe as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see all of you in the next video, and until then, take care.